What up, y'all? Let's get into the Jonathan Majors trial, day 7. This day consisted of Priya Chaudhry, Jonathan Majors' lawyer, still on the cross-examination of Grace Jabbari, his ex-girlfriend. We're now going into day 3 of her testifying. I think today was a better day for the defense, is what I would say. So a lot of this information is not coming from a news article. I know on one of my previous videos, one of you guys said, hey, why don't you post the news article so we can read along? Well, this is actually coming from a court reporter who's tweeting these things out. Her name is Pilar. And we also have friend of the channel, Kat, has an associate by the name of Jimmy. He went down today in the place of our good friend, Danny Does Law, to do reporting. He wants to remain anonymous. So I don't really have an article for a lot of this stuff because this is coming from news reporters that are tweeting this information out. All right, let's get into day 7. Priya started the day off with footage from them at dinner. Jonathan Majors gets up and goes to the bathroom, and Grace Jabbari acts like she's following him, but then she hits a U-turn, sneaks back to the table, and finishes off her drink. Priya asks her, did you go and down that margarita? She said, yeah, I drank it. So, if you didn't watch any of my previous videos, her drinking has been a source of contention in the relationship. Jonathan Majors doesn't like it. I also think Priya is setting the stage to show that she had a lot of alcohol that night. She's going to paint her as being an aggressive, jealous, drunk, and she's probably going to associate the large consumption of alcohol with maybe you don't remember exactly how everything happened that night. So she's going to try to frame her as being an unreliable witness. That's just my theory. All right, let's get back into it. Priya has jumped to the incident. She asked Grace, did you say anything to the driver that night? She said, no. Priya said, did Jonathan Majors speak to the driver that night? She said, yes. All right, right here, she's trying to establish, if Jonathan Majors hurt you so bad, why didn't you ask the driver for help? Instead, Jonathan Majors was the one telling the driver to stop the car so he could run. Grace agreed once again that she did follow behind Jonathan Majors. It's reported that they can see the video in the courtroom. We can't see the video, but they're saying Jonathan Majors ran full speed to get away from her. They say he was running so fast and she was hawking behind him that she almost got hit by a car. Grace testified she didn't even see the car. She was just so focused on catching up with Jonathan. Now, Grace has been very careful with her verbiage. You can tell she comes from a family of lawyers. She hasn't said anything like, I was running behind him or I was chasing behind him. She always frames it as, I was just trying to be with him. I was trying to walk next to him. Priya continued to show the jury a video of Grace obviously running behind him in the streets of Manhattan. Grace then broke down on the stand and asked for a break. Now, girl, what are you crying for? You was the one chasing him. Why are you sad? Priya then played the video of Grace talking to the strangers after the incident. In this video, Priya is trying to show the jury the use of her finger, insinuating there's no way Jonathan Majors broke her finger in that back seat because look, she's freely using it here. She continued to drill down on her hand usage. She got Grace to openly admit that she is right-handed. Now, Priya eventually jumped over to the club footage. Grace confirmed she's holding her coat with her right injured hand.
Priya asked, is this you using your finger to pull your credit card out?
Is that correct? She said, yes, correct. She asked, is this you at the bar dancing? Grace said, yes, but not very well. Then she giggled a little bit. Girl, this ain't funny. This is not anything to be joking about. Priya then began to focus on Grace holding a receipt with her right hand for an extended period of time. She asked Grace, did you have a hard time figuring out where to sign the receipt at? Grace looked confused. She didn't really understand the question. So right here, Priya is trying to insinuate you couldn't possibly be in that much pain because look, you're holding this receipt for an extended period of time with a broken finger. She's trying to insinuate you're not wincing, there's no signs of pain. Priya also stated, you were smoking at the bar using that hand, right? Grace said, yes. She then asked, did you hit your head on the DJ booth? Grace said, no. Priya then played a video of her allegedly hitting her head on the DJ booth. This is pivotal because Grace said that Jonathan Majors struck her in the head in the backseat of the car. That's what caused the laceration. So Priya is saying, all right, you're drunk. You just hit your head right here. When you wake up the next day, yeah, your head probably does hurt. You hit your head right here. We don't have any evidence that he hit you in the head, but we do have evidence of what looks like you're hitting your head here. Maybe this is why your head hurt the next day when you woke up. Priya continued to show more video. They saw video footage of what looks like Grace was kind of drunk and bumped into the wall. Grace said, "I disagree. I just kind of brushed past it." She then continued to show more videos of her touching her hair. She asked, "You didn't feel any blood when you was touching your hair? All these times when you're rubbing your hands through your hair, you didn't feel any blood at all?" She said, "No, I wasn't touching my ear. I was touching my hair." Now, mind you, yesterday when she testified, she said when she got home, she realized that her hair was stuck to dried up blood. So this is why Priya is saying, you didn't realize that dried up blood while you were playing with your hair throughout the night? You just caught it when you got home? Priya then started to focus in on her words of choice when it came to pain. "Did you feel pain?" She said, "Yes, sometimes pain, sometimes drilling." Now, yesterday, y'all, she said she didn't feel no pain at all. Priya asked, "Did it hurt you to move your hand while you was in the club?" She said, "No." So we're finished with the club footage now. Listen, they said sis had 1 or 2 margaritas from dinner that night. At the club, she had 2 shots of tequila and a bottle of champagne. Bruh, that's a lot of liquor. She looks like she weighed like 110 pounds. That's a lot of alcohol. No shade. All right, after lunch, Priya immediately started questioning Grace about what happened when she got back to Jonathan Major's penthouse that night after she left the club. Per a Variety article from the day, Grace said when she woke up that next morning, it felt like she had got hit by a bus. Priya began to ask about the sleeping pills she took. Grace said she got them from CBS. Priya asked, "Did you tell the prosecutor and the doctor that you took pain pills that night as well?" The DA said,
Your Honor, I object.
You would!
Bastard!
Judge said, "Sustained." She then asked Grace, "Where did the police find you when they got to the penthouse that morning?" Grace said, "In an area between the bathroom and the closet. I believe that's where they found me." She then burst into tears and ran out the courtroom. I don't know. I don't know. She makes it back, but now she's crying on the stand. At this point, the body cam footage from the police officers is playing for the jury, and she said, "I don't really want to watch this." And guess what? She left the stand again. She finally came back, so they start the video over. The video starts out with the police speaking to her in the closet. She started crying again, and she said, "I was just trying to go to sleep, and I was so sick." And that's what we ended for today, y'all. That's what it ended. So I think it was a good day. Priya did a good job setting the stage, basically saying, hey, she's doing a lot with a broken finger. Now, when the medical professionals get on the stand, this can go either way, because you may get one doctor on the stand who says, there's no way she's doing all of that with a broken finger. Then you might get another doctor on the stand who says, hey, it's possible she did go through all that stuff at night and had a delayed reaction to pain and didn't realize she was hurt when she got home. Very similar to sometimes you get in a car accident, you don't realize your back is hurting till the next day. So the medical professionals are going to be key when they're bouncing off of each other, because I'm assuming she's going to call a doctor and maybe the prosecution is going to call a doctor. So they're going to cross each other out. Now, I don't know if y'all know, but there's also a nurse on the jury. So I'm wondering what her reactions is and what her point of view is when she's seeing her doing all these things with a, fractured finger. I wonder what that nurse is thinking. Now, she did run out crying about 3 or 4 times. This can be good or this can be bad. The jury might say, all right, Priya, you're being a little too hard on her. You're consistently beating her up. This may paint her as being very sympathetic. They may really start to look at her like, oh, wow, she's a victim. She's still getting beat down. On the flip side, the jury might say, all right, girl, why you keep running out? Is this real? Are you really hurt? Why are you crying and we're only watching a video of you chasing him? So the constant running out and crying can be either good or bad for Jonathan Majors. So y'all tell me what y'all think. How do you think day 7 went? Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate all the new subscribers. I appreciate all my oldie goldies who's been riding with me from the beginning. I'll be back tomorrow with my day 8 coverage of the Jonathan Majors trial. Peace out.